Hello YouTube, what is up? Connor Brooks here with another review for you. Today is the promised Athearn SD40-2 DCC and sound review. So before I get into the video, I just want to say that I've actually wanted an SD40-2 for quite a long time, but I didn't know which company to go with. Intermountain, Athearn, Bachmann, every company makes an SD40-2 because it's one of the most popular locomotives in America, or I guess I should say North America. But I decided with Athearn because it's both detailed and also on the cheaper side. And I ended up choosing the Southern because I knew I wanted a high hood, and it's Southern, so that's awesome. So let's get right into the review with the unboxing. So here is the old Athearn ready-to-roll box, says DCC and sound. Now I say old because with their newer runs that they started to put economy sound in, there is a newer box, and personally I think it is a lot nicer. But this is what most people know the Athearn box to be because it's got the cool sticker and everything. So this is the Athearn Southern SD40-2 3250 with sound. I picked this up on a website. I'll leave it in the description because they still have some available for $139 or $135, something like that. It was on sale, so highly recommend checking that out because it is a beautiful model, and you will see that soon. So we start by taking the top of the box off. It has these two tape tabs there, and then in here is where the locomotive is. This is pretty much standard for your average manufacturer. And then over here are extra plastic parts that come in this bag nice and neat. I opened them up to see what they were. Honestly, I have no idea, but if you want to detail your train a little more, they do come with some plastic parts. And then here is the standard sleeve for most manufacturers. You pull that out. In here there are things like handrail protectors and some cloth to protect the locomotive from rubbing against the plastic. And then you just, this one's pretty tight, so I applaud Athearn for that. So then you just undo that and pull the locomotive out. There is no wheel crocks or anything like that. I think that's what they're called, so you don't have to worry about that. And then inside you get sign up for Athearn News, and you get the SD40-2 exploded parts diagram, which comes with all the parts and stuff like this, warranty requirements. I did not notice, and I haven't been able to find one online really, a quick start guide, but it's most Athearn, or most soundtracks Tsunami decoders are roughly the same with sounds and what functions they are, so I don't really need one. The most important ones to me are the bell and horn and headlight anyway. So with the unboxing out of the way, let's go ahead and move over to the layout. I'm sure you saw as I passed, but here she is in all her pride and glory. Tell me that is not a beautiful looking Southern locomotive. Now, you may be wondering, for those of you who do not know Southern, why I have the long hood facing forward. Well, I don't know if I'll be able to get it, but it was there for a little bit. But there's a little F there. Southern ran their units long hood forward, which I think is completely awesome. It looks cooler than running the locomotive the other way. And so features specific to Southern are the hood-mounted bell, and I believe this is a P3 horn, which is on both sides, so we'll see that when we get to the end. So starting with the front here, we have a beautiful snowplow, MU hoses, which move a little bit, but they're not as free-swinging as some other ones. Athearn coupler, which is a pretty realistic looking coupler. Not as realistic as scale trains, but better than your average manufacturer. Handrails themselves, they're a little flimsy, but they are pretty tight in there, so I mean, just don't go yanking on them and they're not going to come out. Beautiful Southern Railway logo in the center there, 3250. You may notice that the walkways are just plastic, not treaded, and the stairs are not see-through or anything like that, and that is because it is an Athearn ready to roll, so they give you a beautiful model with a little less detail, but relative to some models, this is still beautiful, so I'm okay with it not having a treaded walkway. Going to the roof here, let me go ahead and move this into the light. That'll work well for us. Going to the roof here, there is etched fans. I think they're just etched into the plastic. They do not move if you blow on them or anything. Dynamic brake grills, and I think that's what this is for. I believe that's a firecracker antenna, this thing right here. And then, like I said, the horn. Now, since this is the back, technically this is the sand filler hatch. And then if you look around here, it's almost the same as the front, but not. So there's a snowplow, coupler, MU hoses, separately applied grab irons, and Southern Railway logo. There are classification lights, which is just molded into the plastic. So they do not operate. Just fine with me. Again, it's ready to roll, but it still does its purpose. Now there is one thing that I want to say with this locomotive, one problem that I have before we get into the sounds, and I will demonstrate when we move it. This locomotive does not take 18-inch radius curves when it goes some directions. So like when I'm in here, I can run it the long hood forward. When it's on this track, I can run long hood forward all the way around and it's fine. But if I'm going the opposite way, I have to run it short hood forward, otherwise it'll get to this and it'll derail, and again I will show you that. So I don't know if there is a way to fix that. If anyone knows, please let me know in the comments. And I also don't know if that is specific to this, the Southern, or if it's on all Athearn ready to roll SD40-2s. Specifically this run, I don't know about the new run or older runs. But that about does it for detail. I forgot to mention the fan vents here are not see-through, but they're etched in. And there is a couple plates or wording, fuel tank. Forgot the truck detail, which was not good. You're probably not able to see that. So we'll move that into the light. Maybe. Well, anyway, there is truck detail. You might be able to see it a little bit there. And then the Southern logo. Also, speaking of the plates with like wording and whatnot like this, it looks possibly legible if I were to use a magnifying glass, but I don't know. But it looks like there are separate words on all of these. So that's something pretty cool for a ready-to-roll locomotive. So let's get into the sounds. So I'm going to apply track power and it'll immediately start up. No startup sequence or anything like that, which is perfectly fine with me. Alright, so let's turn on the controller here. Headlight. Which, since this is not a very multi-function decoder, since it is a ready-to-roll, the headlight, even though this is prototypically forward, the headlight still comes on. This is the forward headlight on the controller. So for me to have this headlight on, I have to have it in reverse. So just putting that out there, it doesn't really matter to me. I know there's probably some CVs I can switch around, but it's not that important. I can run the locomotive in reverse for it to go forward, technically. So F1 is the bell. F2, longhorn. Hold on. Shoot. I forgot that I changed it from the factory default, so we're just going to go back to that real fast. And I don't exactly remember what number it was, which is a little bit of a problem. I'm hoping it's 0. That's it. It was 0. I had it changed. Alright, longhorn. short horn. I'll demonstrate a grade crossing sequence with the bell. F4, I believe, is dynamic brake. It should be. Yep. F5, from reading things, should be optional ditch lights, which are not here. F6 does nothing. 7 is the dimmer, I think. Well, it doesn't seem to dim anything. F8 is mute, of course. And I don't think F9 does anything. So, that about does it for the sounds. Let's go ahead and move it. Speed step 1, 2, 3, 4. And I don't want to go around this curve because I don't know if this is a curve it'll take or not. So we'll get through the demonstration first. Reverse. I'll show you the reverse headlight. Why is it not focusing on the train? Whatever. Reverse. Speed step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that'll do it. Alright, so let's bring it back and test the curves. So I think since this is going this way, I don't know if it'll be able to... Well, this is a 22-inch radius, so it won't matter. I'll just demonstrate on the inner track. So, like I said, going this way with this locomotive, I am unable to take the curves. No, it would help if I could have all the wheels on the track. So, we're going to go... See that? And now the front wheel is off of the track. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but the front wheel is now off the track. So when I go forward, it's now not on the track, and that'll affect it. But if I take the, whoops, one of these handrails decided to come out here. We'll fix that. But if I turn it around, if I turn it around, goes around it like a charm. But I believe if I'm going in reverse, it does not work as well. But I'm not sure. Nope, we're good. So I just wanted to point that out there. When you get this locomotive, if you get this locomotive, there's a chance that if you have 18-inch radius curves, it may or may not go around the curve depending on which way it's facing. So I don't really care personally how I run the locomotive. I've seen pictures sometimes even with the F down there, they'll still run it like this. So I'll run it whichever way I know will work on my layout, and it won't really matter to me. So I just wanted to point that out while we were doing this review. So that wraps up the review of the Athearn SD40-2 Southern locomotive. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please subscribe to my channel because there's more content coming out soon. And please like the video and comment on it for a suggestion and possibly how to fix this turning issue. So thank you so much for choosing my channel and watching this video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.